Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Factorio C Block. This is episode number 19. Today, we will be aggressively expanding and adding to our mid-game main bus. This guy here currently has steel, iron, and 3 lines of copper. We're going to be adding a number of blueprints down with our construction robots, and we'll be eliminating some of these guys. This is my list of to-do, things to be added. So we'll be deleting these from the list as we add them to the bus. And to do that, we're going to need a lot of machines, so we're going to automate the construction of machines. Up to this point, I've mostly been doing it by hand, because when we were doing this part of the base, I didn't need that many all at once. And so it actually wasn't that inefficient to just do it by hand. And when I was designing this stuff, a lot of it was just me fiddling with designs for a long amount of time. So again, I wasn't really slowed down by waiting for things to craft. But now the stuff's been figured out. We need stuff going, crafting all the time. And so what we're going to do, we're going to drop this, and this in there. We're going to make some logistics robots. I'm going to make a very small logistics network. Our robots are going to be quite slow for some time to come. And making like a large distributed logistics system network is not really very efficient unless you add some mods that aren't part of this C-block pack until we get further into the end game anyway. So this base is mostly going to be belt-based. But we can add some small logistics areas here and there when we need them. Let's see, what do we want? Oh, I want inserters and inserter. And we want a passive provider chest and a requester chest. Oh, no, this wrong way around. Okay. We want a passive provider chest to provide the things we want, and the requester chest for items to be requested by the network. Right? Oh. Whatever. Just rotate it around. I'm getting confused here. It's been a little while since we did logistics. Okay, we'll make a blueprint. Gonna just run down the line like this. This is similar to what I did in Factorio Recursion, where I had an entire area just making the stuff I needed to continue making more of the base. And in fact, we'll probably do something like this in a larger fashion, more organized, with like little roads and stuff. We're missing power. Let's move that over. There we go. We'll probably do something like this, bigger down the line. It will help keep our main bus nice and clean and organized. If we don't have to have tons of splitters all over the place, we can have a small, concentrated logistics network. These guys should be done. Okay, we will drop them in there. In there. What happened to the inserters? Is my blueprint missing an inserter? Where's my blueprint? This one. Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's redo that. Yeah, I should just be able to do this again. There we go. Okay, and we are going to, I guess we'll start with the items we need the most of. I've already automated washing machines. So next on the list are filtration units and crystallizers. And those, let's see, we need steel, electronic boards, steel pipe, stone brick. And for that, we're going to just basically put a number of these passive requester chests, getting it mixed up all the time. Requester chests down and just have them hold the items that we need, pull them right off of these belts. Some of them will use some of these filter inserters. Some don't need it. The items with 2 items on the belt need it. The items that don't. Okay, you're the first up. Give you a limiter there. In fact, we'll limit all the other ones like that. And then we'll have to tell these guys what I want them picking up. Steel pipes for you. Brass pipes for you. Then this guy is a... Oh, I need to change him. So he needs to pick up there, drop off there. And I want you picking up those bricks, which are going to be right there. Voila. And then this guy, I need to change him as well to drop that. Drop that. And then tell them to pick up those 2 different types of... There we go. 2 different types of circuits. Okay, what's going on down here? Oh, let's also put some lights down since it's a bit dark. And then we'll see what's going on with the... Did I put the guys in the thing? I did. Do I have the chests mixed up? Oh, did I not? I didn't copy the recipe. No, that's copied. Oh, right. Okay, these are the wrong chests. We need the red ones. We need to passively provide things. These chests aren't requesting anything. They're providing some stuff. Okay, so I just had the wrong one. And in fact, for this, let's only have that hold one. And I'll be crafting things as well. Because our production isn't that great. So I want to limit everything so we don't run out of stuff. The pipes are not as big of a deal. And the steel is definitely not as big of a deal. This one is probably not as big of a deal either. But the more complicated items we will limit a bit. So there's that guy. We will limit the output. What are you missing? Steel? Oh. There we go. Okay, up first is lead plate and tin plate. I've had everything set up and reconfigured. I just had it cut off from mineral sludge until I had it set up properly so that it wasn't making the wrong types of stuff. These guys are getting made. They're going to the ore sorting facility. Their stuff's getting crushed. For the lead, we're using the processed lead. We're not using lead pellets because it requires you to go through a chemical furnace with like a weird chemical that we would have to manufacture, and we don't need it. I'm getting plenty of lead out of this as is. Let's see, how is this doing? What are we missing? We're missing processed lead. Oh, okay, this is slightly wrong. Because I moved that up because we have to output, or we have to input oxygen, so I moved the pipe. That should be fine. This guy is operating. Good. We only need one of these and one of these, but it just makes sense to keep them parallel because we need two of those almost. We need two of these guys. It's just a little more straightforward this way. These guys are getting made. The lead plate's getting made. The tin is even really straightforward. It's probably the most straightforward metal in the game. Doesn't require any weird reagents or input weird chemicals or whatever. I'm also going to be storing up some sulfuric acid. This process here outputs sulfuric acid as a byproduct, and that's just useful. That's ubiquitous. We need it all over the place, so may as well use it when we got it. Let's hop in the car. Actually, do we want to? I know what I want to do. I want to use my robots. I don't want to do this by hand. I want a blank blueprint. Don't have one. Okay, just like that is fine. Okay, then we can go in the car. And we can run down to the recipe list, and we can just we can eliminate these guys from the stuff to be made. Okay, like that. So now we got two more things on the bus. Okay, guys. Hurry up, guys. Lovely. Okay, good. Good job, guys. Okay, so yeah, it's dark, or otherwise I would go down there now. It's not because I can't see, but because you can't see. But we've got more things to work on. We've got lead and tin. Our 4 belts, yeah, 4 belt main bus has increased to 6. And I added quite a few more things up here. I added more logistics robots to the system, and just more of these little things making stuff. I've found that one of the slow points was the stone bricks wasn't smelting enough, so I made a little bit extra, that kind of thing. Making all kinds of stuff up here. Time to go drop more blueprints. And next up is the solder. This is the same materials as last time, the tin and the lead, so mostly the same, but just the end process a little bit different. Okay, all that's making good. Good. Let's put a light bulb down right about there, a little bit dark. Okay, and let's just make sure all of this is getting made. It'll take a few seconds for the different parts to filter through. There we go. We got the lead oxide. We got the lead ingots. We've got the tin. Very nice. Okay, that's getting combined into molten solder, and then this is going into here, into our solder coil guy. And there we go. Okay, so there's solder. Bam, just like that. we have another, oops, and I'm out of belts. Okay, but we have another item for the belt. Now we've got copper, iron, steel, tin, lead, and solder. Now over to the right side of the iron butterfly. Got a similar thing. We've got copper up here and then tin here. We're going to be making a tin wire coil spool. And we'll see if I set everything up correctly. Didn't test it or nothing. Seems to be going okay. Most of it's from previous blueprints. So, I mean, there's only so much that I could actually screw up. Okay, we've got the blast furnace going. Good. 2 of these guys, 3 of these guys, more or less in equal proportion. Okay. Oh, that's because this guy has an extra step. Okay, so 2 of these guys to 2 of those, and then we send both the moltens this way, and we've got coils. Okay, so each one of these equals 4 tin wire coils. Sorry, let me start over. Each one of these coils equals 4 tin wire. So it's fairly dense. We can put it on a yellow belt. It's like about 6 of those per second is what we need. We might be making more than that. That's what we're making. That's what we got. So there's that. All right, well, we've done the layouts for the metals that only take the most basic recipes, the iron, the copper, the lead, and the tin. Just take the crushed ores. The next set will be a bit more complicated. They take chunks instead of the crushed version, so we'll have to start incorporating the flotation cells into our builds. I got a new layout for that. This will be in effect for anything that includes silicon, nickel, aluminium, or zinc. After that, the next set will get a bit more complicated still. But we need the flotation cells. I got a new layout for that. But first, let me show you a really important update to the coolant system. There was a problem with this system in that these guys here, the chemical plants making the coolant, they just continually made coolant. And we're recycling it at an 80% efficiency. We take in 100 used coolant, we spit back out 80. I'd prefer, of course, for 80% of our coolant to come from this guy to be recycled. But how do we get that ratio to be perfect when we scale things up or down? Like the belts aren't always being used at the same speed. So we can't just rely on giving this guy a static like 20% of our need, because that's not going to be flexible enough. So the problem with the system is that if it continually makes coolant all the time, then the used coolant doesn't need to be recycled, and so the pipes fill up, and so the used coolant can't get out of the machine, so the machine stops making the metals that we require for our build. How do we fix that? I fixed it like this, really simple. I put a tank here, Petrochem small inline tank, holds 20K, and I just wired up a red wire to some pumps, and I told the pumps to read the contents of the tank, and if the tank has less than 10,000 coolant in it, then the pumps will turn on. In fact, tell you what, let's test it. If I just spread those out, it'll dip underneath 10,000, and they all turn on, and we start producing coolant again. As soon as this goes over 10K, they will shut down. So if I do that... Oh, wow, those take a long time to pick up. Just robots. Okay, so... Is it over? Yeah, it's over 10K, and all the pumps have shut down. So by doing that, we're only going to produce new coolant when we start to run low on the recycled coolant, and we'll have quite a bit of a buffer because this tank is going to hold 10,000 extra. That should prevent us from ever having full used coolant pipes. If you look here, our used coolant is totally gone. It'll continue to be gone until we get under that limit. I think that was a very good solution. Okay. Let's go check out the next layout. This one gets a bit more complicated. We have to start using flotation cells. Had to update some layouts. And smelting glass is very inefficient. So the layout ends up being a bit crazy. We also need a little bit of silicon plate. So basically from here to the left, everything is the same. We're using the filtration units. And then we're giving them... the mineral sludge, transferring that over to the crystallizers to get the different ores, and then sending the ores to the crushers. Then after that, the crushers have to send the crushed ore to a flotation unit And we're getting geodes again, and we also have wastewater. And in an effort to keep everything separate, we're going to just burn off all the wastewater into these guys, the clarifiers. Tell you what, let's sort of plug it in. Let me just make sure that it works. So let's see, you need to be connected there. Oh, I see a flaw in the system. I don't have room for a pipe. Okay, there needs to be a pipe there. So I need a clarifier, I guess, like that. Okay. Why am I... Oh, my pickaxe is broken. I was wondering, why is it taking 10 million years to pick anything up? It's because I have no pickaxe. Okay. That's better. Okay, so let's just confirm that things are working. Okay, we're making the ores. The ores are going to the belts. That part's good. The ores are getting crushed. Oh, okay, this is the wrong thing. That needs to be brown. This one needs to be blue. This one needs to be... Oh, that's right, because at first I tried to mix. I was going to try to split this guy up. Half glass and half aluminum. But it turns out that the glass smelting is so inefficient that we're just going to use the whole thing for glass. And then similarly, since so many machines rely on aluminum, we don't need a ton of aluminum for science. I'll just scale that up as well because we'll need it to build machines. Okay, these guys are crafting. All of our wastewater should be headed over there. There they are, burning off. Okay, what's this guy doing? There's no room. This will take a minute to catch up. This is running full speed. Good. Just checking. It should catch up in a second. This is producing. And we've got some geodes, which are going to be coming down the line. And we're just going to store those for a while. We will do stuff with our geodes later. Down to the south, after we're done with all of these. There was something else I needed to do. Oh, that's right. Okay. So, the new recipe for the sorting facility. We need those chunks, which we're getting. We also need mineral catalysts. And so, I've left this entire slot empty. The mineral catalysts are made with our mineral sludge, and they're kind of expensive, so we're just going to use this whole guy to do nothing but make mineral catalysts. We're going to send them down this line. There. Maybe that's a little bit better. And I just moved it to the south because it's a little bit more space efficient. Don't need extra belt. If we don't need extra belt, look at how many that makes. Okay, so everything that requires flotation devices will also require those mineral catalyst guys. And here we go. We're going to get some ores. Lovely. And all these guys, they also need purified water. So we've got some hydro plants. Everything seems to get burned off properly over there. I think, yeah, okay, they're empty. Good. Now these guys are going to start getting made. And we're going to have the ore coming down. Oh, okay. So the updated recipe that I currently have access to that seemed like the most straightforward, not too complicated, more efficient, doesn't include crazy chemicals. Takes 1 silicon ore and 1 piece of lime. And so we need to start making some limestone. And this is going to take quite a bit of limestone. So I added a hefty amount of it over here, separate from our already existent limestone build, which would not be enough to accommodate all of this, plus our future needs and all that kind of stuff. And looks like you don't have power. Okay. Let's plop let's put a substation. Is that going to cover it? If I put a substation here, that's only going to cover one side. Okay, looks like we need 2. Won't be too much longer before we can upgrade to the substation Mark 3s. Our power grid will get much prettier. Okay, here comes the limestone. Gonna come down, or I guess the limestone is coming down here, and then we're blast furnace it into coke, or into lime. Oh, and one thing, no, I didn't forget. Okay, it's very complicated. But this thing is outputting as well carbon dioxide, which I'm just going to store up here. In case I want to move it somewhere, I'll have a hefty supply of it. But once that's full, it will start deleting itself. That is actually... Is it a... No, it's a gas, isn't it? Yeah, that's not the right thing. He's going to need one of those. Double check on that later. Okay, so this is the same build for the limestone that we made above that is flowing down our whole base to power up some stuff. And that's getting blast furnaced into lime. That's coming down here to these guys. What's going on here? We are out of sapphirite chunks. And look, I see some glass mixture going down there. Let's just sort of trace the problem. No sapphirite chunks because... No crushed sapphirite. This line is backed up. Why is this line backed up? I think that's probably the problem. Is this not outputting... let's see, what kind of crystal? You got the blue crystal. Should come out there. This guy is waiting on the blue. Oh, because I see what happened. Okay. So I have this filter inserter taking the geodes off of the line and dumping them onto this. The problem is that the geodes went by too fast. So I think what we'll do is I will drop tile position. That should do the same job, and then we will tell it to filter the various geodes. I don't remember what the second geode we have here because we have two different kinds of things. Or no, are we only getting one kind of geode? It's very confusing sometimes. The geodes are coming from here, so we're getting, for this guy, we're getting blue and the red. Okay, did I put that one on this list? I did not. No, I don't want to filter that. I want the red one. There. There we go. Okay. Some chunks did fly down there. Let's just put those... Where are they? Put those like that, and then we've got a similar problem here. This is why we test everything, because, well, there's a lot of moving parts here. So we'll do a similar thing. I want to, like this guy right here. I think we'll be fine if we just do the same thing. So this guy just needs, I put more types than we really needed. We really just need the blue and the red, and I can pick up him. And then we will need a place to store these. We're going to need like a ton of storage. And so I will eventually use one of those huge chest things. But for now, until we make more of these builds, we're just going to put these in a chest like this. Until I can run this line down quite a bit farther to get rid of these guys into a much larger solution. Okay, that should start picking them up. Now this guy is producing again. All right. Got the lime coming down. These guys are getting mixed in our powder mixer Mark II into a glass mixture. Then that's going to an induction furnace to be turned into molten glass. And that is getting plated into glass. And we've got glass on the belts. And then once it backs up, we do need a little bit of silicon plate. Very little. So all the excess is going to just get added here as silicon plate. Whew. Okay, so that's just that's the glass. That's glass and silicon plate. And then we still have quite a few things to do, but that's quite a bit of progress for one day, I think. Let's tell you what, let's grab a little blueprinty. Let's do this. And, okay, let's make that a little more even. Let's extend this down a little bit. Coming up, we're going to be adding all of the different metals and basically everything that only requires flotation, up until the point where we need chunks, which would be the next tier of complexity. The next, I think the first one we'll need of that tier is going to be gold, where we'll start to have to refine those chunks into crystals, which makes more complicated. And then way down at the end, Givelite is even more complicated. But one thing at a time, where did that blueprint go? So our bus at the moment is now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 belts. Is that right? There we go. Okay, let me just fill in this much. And based on our current progress, I think we're easily going to fill in this amount of space that I already have. Maybe even a bit more. So the future base is going to be down here somewhere. But landfill is really not a problem at all. I think these are totally full. 48K in each one. Okay, fill that in. And then let's go update our list of to-do. Go on, robots. Jump inside me. All right, let's go update the to-do list. That was silicon and glass, which is right here. Okay. So left to do, we've got Invar. Up here, we've got brass. Then we've got, what's this guy? This is gold, where we'll need the leaching plants. And then silver. And I think by that point, we'll probably establish a new science outpost. Because we'll need to research some science to be able to really produce a lot of these guys. Oh, aluminium. Yeah, we'll place aluminium on the left. This guy requires nickel, I think, or cobalt. Cobalt steel? Yeah, we're going to wait on cobalt steel. What is this guy? This guy is nitinol plate, which is titanium and zinc, I think. Yeah, so next time we'll do... Oh, my goodness. Next time we're going to do aluminium. Probably gold, but definitely Invar and definitely brass, so that we can set up our new base somewhere and start doing research again if we need to with the first 4 sciences. Anyway, though, lots of progress being had. The main bus, it continues to expand. And I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.